The good, the bad, and the odd. It's a thing.
Welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Odd with your host, Michael Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello there.
Right, so this one surprised me when you mentioned we'd never covered it apart from a comfy chair because it's on our in our Hall of Fame. It's a great movie.
Mm,
And you said, you said,
yeah,
should we do this? Yeah.
yeah,
So, Princess Bride, you picked
yeah. The 19... Oh, I can't even
87.
remember yet. 87.
87 was a terrific year. If you look in the films that came out in 87, it is a banger of a year. It really is. It's got like Rocky 4, Predator, RoboCop. It's just a there's about 25 brilliant films come out in
Yeah,
85. It's a mentally good
85,
year.
87.
87, sorry, 87.
Yeah.
It's a mentally good year. Yeah. So, Princess Bride,
Mm,
really interesting film. Directed by Rob Reiner. Now, before we get into the film, Rob Reiner had an amazing run of movies and then
yeah,
fell off a cliff, right?
yeah,
I mean, his first film was Spinal Tap, of all films. That's what I meant,
yeah.
Spinal Tap. Then, all right, it's not that well known a film, but it is a good film. One called The Sure Thing, right?
Mm,
Then Stand By Me. Then The Princess Bride. Then Harry Met Sally. Then Misery.
yeah.
Then A Few Good Men. Then it kind of falls
Then
off.
it falls off with North,
North. And
which
after that, you basically
really
never heard of
raises.
any of these films that he's
Yeah,
done. Right up, I've heard of the bucket list. That's about it. And there's about 10
yeah.
films. And right up to Spinal Tap 2, which looks pretty bad from the trailer. I have to say, it just god, it made me wince watching the trailer for that. It might be a bad trailer, but why would you put a load of terrible jokes in the trailer for a comedy?
Mm,
I don't get it. Anyway, so Princess Bride, his fourth movie. Um,
yeah. Based on the
okay,
book of roughly the same name. The
yeah,
book is
William
called The
Goldman.
Princess Bride, S. Morgenstern's classic tale of true love and high adventure, the good parts version.
Yeah, William Gold. Basically, the original text I think was kind of lost, and William Goldman remembered it. A famous scriptwriter, William Goldman, right? I mean, won Oscars and all sorts.
Yeah.
Um, but he basically rewrote it how he remembered it, and that's what we're getting here. Well, that's what
No,
the book was.
it's not a real book. Like
Oh, I
it
thought it was.
no, no, he like made up a story and then talked. The whole thing is more about his relationship with like his grandfather.
Oh,
Than
my mistake. I always thought that this was based on something he'd read as a boy and he couldn't find, and he just wrote it out again, how he
no.
remembered it. But that my mistake. Anyway, it's a good book. It's
Yeah,
really
really good
really good.
book. A lot of stuff gets expanded on in very comedic ways, and a
Yeah,
lot of it is based on like jokes about it. It's like, upon rereading this, there's a lot here that just didn't get read by my dad, and yeah, it's probably for the better. This is really some really boring stuff, not good for
yeah,
kids. So
yeah, yeah. This cracks along. I have to say, the first half hour of this film is absolutely riveting.
yeah,
Absolutely riveting. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's what you first saw it as a child.
yeah, yeah.
I probably
You
showed it to
introduced
you.
it to me like what, 5 or 6.
Yeah,
So yeah,
well, maybe a little older than that because there's some grim bits in places, but yeah, it was early. I wasn't
yeah,
too shy about letting you see stuff. I remember letting you see
mm,
King Kong when you were like 5, 4 or 5,
yeah,
for example. But yeah, Princess Bride. So we both have watched this film multiple times, right?
mm,
Together and separately, and
yeah.
but yeah, it never gets boring, does it? It never gets
Mm.
boring. It To me, it feels like Kerry Elwes, and he's a great actor, and he's good in loads of stuff. I mean, Robin Hood, Prince Men in Tights.
Yeah.
We talked about him last, I think. But he was never better than as
Yeah.
Wesley, in my opinion. He was perfect
It's
for that
it
role.
sounds detractive of his work, but no, it's like he hit a peak and then really stayed up there for a
Yes,
long
I agree.
time.
I agree.
So,
He always delivers. He's always good in stuff. It's just you don't see him as much as I think you should see him actually. Uh,
hmm,
Um, we've also got. I mean, the casting in this film is terrific too, right?
yeah. Yeah,
There's,
so we've got Robin Wright as Buttercup,
yeah,
Mandy Patinkin as Inigo, Andre the Giant as Fezzik,
Yeah.
Chris Sarandon as
So,
Humperdinck.
yeah, Susan Sarandon's brother,
Yeah,
from Rocky Horror.
yeah.
Christopher Guest, who's a really interesting actor because he isn't in much that we see,
Mm,
but he's chameleonic. He's Nigel Tufnell in Spinal Tap,
mm,
right? I never realised that for years. Even though I'd
yeah.
seen this film loads of times, I've seen Spinal, never realised. He's also the douchebag Todd in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. The neighbour, the douchey
Okay,
neighbour.
yeah.
That's him. He looks completely different again. What was it, Prince? No, not Prince. Count
Count
Rugen.
Rugen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in this, and or Nigel Tufnell, right? And we also get an awesome couple of scenes with Billy Crystal and Carol Kane. Carol Kane's amazing. Um,
Yeah.
they were both really good at this. I really love Carol Kane as the mental fairy in Scrooge. Uh,
Yes.
that might be her finest film moment for me. But she's good in this as Valerie, right?
Yeah.
Miracle Max is
Miracle
funny.
Max's wife. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So basically, I don't know if it's worth going through the story that much because kind of everyone
Yeah.
knows
So,
it.
so the sort of the arcing premise is that this is a grandfather reading a story that his parents read to him, and he read to the father of his grandson, who is off ill from school.
Yeah,
And only realized this just on this most recent watch. This is a Christmas movie. This takes place at Christmas.
I
The
never
houses
noticed
outside
that.
have white snow on them, and there's a paper plate Santa Claus on the wall. So.
There's another one to add to the Christmas list, then, right?
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, so this
okay.
it's framed as the him reading the story to his sick grandson.
Yeah,
Uh, but he's kind of messing with it a little bit just because his grandson's kind of picky to start with. It's
yeah.
like, it's
He
about
does
sports. It's like, oh yeah, it's about sports. It's about fencing. It's about
fencing, torture,
blood, true love.
true love,
Yeah,
and well, right at the beginning,
yeah,
they basically telling the story of Wesley, the stable boy, and Buttercup, and how she
yeah,
would order him around, but she realised every time he said "as you wish," he was really saying "I love you,"
mm,
and then she realised she loved him too, and he went off to make his fortune, and she thought he died at the hands of Dread Pirate Roberts, so she was distraught, and somehow she becomes the sort of fiance stroke prospective wife of the
yeah.
king,
In
right?
in the book, it's basically
The
the king
prince.
needs to pick a wife. There's a whole bit about how there's like sequences removed about him choosing a wife, princess, wife.
Okay. Okay.
But
Uh,
yeah, he basically sees her in the street and is like her. She's the
yeah.
most beautiful, so he elevates her to princess, and then is gonna be like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna marry
Yeah.
her. So
Yeah. And she's kind of still distraught over Wesley, so she's kind
yeah,
of numb, really.
yeah,
But she thinks he's died at the hand of Dread Pirates Roberts. But she
yeah.
then gets kidnapped by this crew of three, which is Fezzik, Inigo Montoya, and Vizzini, right?
Mm.
Um, and we find out basically the prince is a shitheel.
Yeah, it's a whole like setup so that he can wage war on a neighboring nation.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, but yeah, I mean, this first sequence where the kidnapping, the chase, the sword fight,
Yeah,
how Wesley overcomes the three of them to rescue Buttercup
yeah.
is
Spoilers for this
yeah,
40-year-old movie.
yeah, spoilers.
It
Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of my favourite sections of.
Yeah,
It's a great 40 minutes.
it
It's an
is my
abs.
favorite movie, this film.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow, I did not know that. It
yeah,
is a great movie though. But yeah, that first 40 minutes just you cannot. It's just
no,
so entertaining. The dialogue's very
yeah,
funny. It's funny,
yeah.
and it's also
Everything
really
said is
precise.
funny and has become very mimetic on the internet. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you
Is what you
think it
think it
means.
means, yeah.
Like,
Never go in against the blood food again. Never start a
yeah,
ground war with a small
never
Asian
start a
country.
ground war in Asia. Yeah, so
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. That's a modern reference,
yeah,
obviously. I mean, also Andre the Giant's finest moment, I'd say.
yeah,
He's really good in it. And I
yeah.
really, really like Mandy Patinkin as Inigo. an
Yeah.
actor that I've only seen in a few things, and he's always good. Should have had slightly been. I think he's more a stage actor, so it might be a deliberate reason, but you just
Mm.
don't see him in many films. He looks a lot like Robert De Niro to me as well,
Yeah,
facial in his
kinda. I can
face,
see
in his
it.
face, not in his acting.
Yeah.
But he's a quite a striking sort of presence in this as Inigo. Um,
Mm.
the sword fight is amazing. Well, actually, I'm jumping the gun. First thing we encounter is them being chased, and then Inigo goes, "Why are you looking behind?" He goes, "There's someone following us," and he's like, "Inconceivable."
Mm. Yeah, it's like, well, there's no one knows where we've gone, so Gilda wouldn't,
They wouldn't
Thorin
have
would have
time to
chased us.
react. They
And
could,
Gilda doesn't know we're going there, so there's no one there.
yeah.
Why do you ask? It's like, there's someone back there.
Inconceivable. Anyway, they then have to climb up this. What was it the
The
cliffs
Cliffs
of
of Insanity. Now, I will
insanity?
say, I watched this with friends,
Yeah.
and like every time that it cut back to the grandfather and and Fred Savage, it kind of made them jump because they're like, "Oh, I forgot this." Like they were so into the movie.
The first, I mean, it's only a couple of breaks. The first one is when he's first telling about Wesley and Buttercup, and they start kissing.
Yeah,
He goes, "Is this a kissing book?"
yeah.
And then the
We get our
grandfather's like,
second one with the
"No."
eels, and
Yeah,
it's like she gets away. Like just to be clear, like you look
yeah.
scared, so I'm just telling you now, she gets away.
He goes, "I wasn't scared. I was concerned."
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, the shrieking eels appear, big rubbery, big teeth thing, scary
yeah.
thing. But
It's like, oh, don't worry, they only shriek when they get near their prey, and then they
yeah,
start screaming. So,
yeah, and he says something like, "I promise, if you come aboard, you will come to no harm," which is more than the eels can promise, or something
yeah,
like that. Anyway, Fezzik literally picks her up with one hand out of the water and punches
yeah.
an
He
eel in the
he
head.
slaps an eel. Yeah,
Yeah. I have to say, Peter Falk. I love seeing Peter Falk in this. I mean, his finest moment was Columbo. He's
yeah,
brilliant in Columbo, but he's good in all sorts. He's one of those actors. Whatever he's in is good, right? But you just don't see
mm,
him in that much. But he's great as the grandfather in this as well.
yeah,
And we got Fred Savage as the little boy. Fred Savage, famous for the Wonder Years TV show called The Wonder Years, which was
mm,
kind of the Goldbergs of the 80s and 90s. It's kind
yeah,
of someone telling a story about their growing up and
yeah,
things like that. And set very firmly in the 80s. Yeah, so that was cool. So the Shrieking Hills, then it's the Cliffs of Inter where Fezzik has to carry basically pull himself up on a rope with three people attached.
yeah,
And the masked man is chasing them. The man is chasing them. They finally,
yeah.
when they
The
get
Man
to
in
the start,
Black.
the man in black with a mask on. You can never trust someone with a mask is one of the comments at
Yeah.
one point, which made me laugh. Um,
And
but
they also do the when you wear a mask. It's like I think they're quite fashionable.
yeah, and it's
So
surprisingly
I think
comfortable.
everyone will be wearing them in the future.
Yeah,
Ominous
this is about
statement.
right. What a statement. But Vicini's having a go at Fezzik for going to go faster because I'm already going fast. I don't know
Yeah,
quite how they did that cliff stuff. It is really on a cliff, right?
yeah.
But the whoever's climbing up those is clearly got assistance because they're not climbing like someone who's actually pulling themselves up.
No, they're
They're
just
doing
kind of
hand
doing
over
it with
hand.
their
So
arms.
they're being pulled
So,
up by some sort of cable as they go, but
yeah,
I couldn't see it and it looked quite dangerous to me. I mean,
yeah.
that was a proper cliff. There were seagulls flying by. You could tell that was
I
very
was
dangerous.
reading some stuff about like the just behind the scenes stuff about the film. Apparently, some part of it was like they weren't on either some very high sets while they were doing the climbing sort of
Okay.
dialogue,
Yeah.
because Wallace Shawn Vizzini also has a fear of heights, so
He
like
must
same
have
as his
hated it.
character, so he hated that. Yeah,
And again, I just want to make Wallace Shawn's finest performance. I've seen
yeah,
him in quite a few things. He's pretty good. I really liked him in a thing called Dinner with Andre, which is a really weird talking heads kind of film where two guys are just talking at dinner. But he's very
mm,
good in it. Even though
okay,
he's one of the ones who doesn't talk much. He's more listening. But he is good. But Vasine is like
yeah,
iconic, isn't it?
yeah,
So the masked man is chasing them up the cliff, and Vasini's like, right, me, Fezzik, and Buttercup are going ahead. You deal with him. If he falls,
yeah.
fine. If not,
If
the
not the
sword,
sword.
the sword.
Yeah,
And they clear off, in he goes like a master swordsman, and he's kind of just waiting, and he starts shouting down, "Could you hurry it up?" And he's like, "This is more difficult than it looks. Please, could you please not sort of distract me?"
Distract me.
And he's like, he goes, "How about I throw you a rope to you?" He goes, "Nah." I don't. He goes, "What about if I give you my word as a
My
Spaniard?"
word as a Spaniard's like, nah, I've known too many Spaniards.
Spaniards.
So,
And then he promises on the soul of his dead father, and
mm,
the mouse man's like, "Throw me the
yeah,
rope,
throw me the rope.
throw me the rope."
It's like
Uh,
okay, I get you.
yeah,
So,
they're honourable men, right? They are honourable
yeah,
men. Um, so he climbs up, and he even gives him time to rest. He goes, "No,
yeah,
don't worry, rest." And he
yeah.
starts telling him his own story about how a six-fingered man killed his own father and put two scars across one scar across each cheek,
Mm,
because he wouldn't pay what is a beautiful sword. He wouldn't pay the full price, so he killed his father. And he fought him, but didn't win. But he was only 11, so
yeah. And
um,
even the Dread Pirate, the Man in Black, is like, you're only 11. Jesus Christ, you
yeah.
always won. So,
Yeah, and he's quite polite. They're both quite polite to
yeah,
each other, and it's made me laugh. They're both fight. Oh, and he mentions to the scene. He goes, "I'm going to fight in left-handed." He goes, "Oh, we're on a time here.
yeah,
Just get on with it."
kill
And
him.
he wants to
So,
fight him left-handed because he doesn't. It's too easy when he's right-handed, right?
yeah. I
Uh,
like the first off, this is the greatest sword fight in cinema.
it's
Uh,
great.
uh,
Yeah, it's terrific.
yeah. And secondly, I do like the bit where they start talking like shop about fencing.
Yeah,
Where
is this the
there's
so-so
just
defense?
yeah, it's like I see you using Benetti's defense. I thought it was suitable considering the terrain.
Terrain. He goes,
And
"Yes,
like you
another."
can clearly see Inigo get very into it. Like he's like, oh yeah, this guy knows his stuff. It's like okay.
And he goes, "Yeah, I have to admit you're better than me." He goes, "Well, why are you smiling?" He goes, "Because I don't usually fight left-handed."
Yeah, I'm not left-handed, so,
um,
so
and then we find out the man in black is also doesn't
yeah,
usually fight left-handed.
that got a big laugh from my
Yeah,
friends there.
yeah, that was funny.
But I'm also
Uh,
not left-handed. And then he does
and
like a little flourish.
and he goes, going, "I need to know who you are. You're amazing." He goes, "Learn to live with disappointment."
Yeah,
Uh, and then he overcomes it and he goes, "Please make it quick." He goes, "I'll no longer kill you than I break a valuable sort of vase or
chandelier. Yeah.
chandelier." And he just knocks him out with the butt of the hilt of his sword, right?
Mm.
Um, so he doesn't take him out, he just takes it. And then basically Vicini clocks that the man in black is following. He's like, "Inconceivable."
Mm. Yeah.
And he says, "Fezzik, do it your now. It's your turn. You do it your way.
Yeah.
I'll go on with it."
Physics,
He goes,
physics has
Fezzik's
a
like,
fun little like,
"Oh,
oh yeah, my way. What's my way? It's like,
here, pick up a rock and smash his brains in with it."
yeah,
My way's not very sportsmanlike, is it?
yeah,
But he doesn't do that because he's a sport, right? And
yeah.
he offers him
Well,
a hand to
first
hand.
off, he like gives him like a warning shot by obliterating a rock
Yeah,
near his head. It's
yeah,
like I could have hit you, didn't, because I want to do this properly. And they have the great bit where it's like, so you'll put down your rock and I'll put down my sword and we'll beat each other to death like civilized men.
yeah. Because it does the same thing. He goes, "I can't help it if I'm strong." And then when they start fighting, starts getting the
Wesley
better of
immediately
him.
jumps on his
And he
back
goes,
and
"Ah,
starts
it's not
choking.
fair. I usually fight groups. I'm not used to fighting one man." Because I usually fight six at a time.
Yeah.
It's putting me
Which is
off.
from the book. Fezzik has like a whole backstory, like fighting gangs in Turkey.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And Vasine is at one point. Vasine is cross with Fezzik, and he goes, "I'm gonna have to get a new giant." He goes, "Oh, don't say that." Oh, and
yeah.
also we should have mentioned Inigo and Fezzik have a little rhyming game, don't they? Which
Yes.
annoys the piss out of Vasini. They
Yes.
just rhyme. They say word. One says the sentence, the other
Right.
tries to rhyme it.
Right. Fezzik, are there rocks ahead? If they are, we'll soon be dead. So,
Yeah,
shut up.
so and he goes like, "Fezzik, they're real friends, these guys."
Yeah.
And Inigo does mention them, but I need to pay the bills. I'm
Yeah.
after. He's after
Vengeance
the
doesn't pay the
six-fingered
bills.
man. He's after the six-fingered man, but he basically still has to pay. And he goes, "It's been 20 years now, and I'm getting a little disheartened. But I
Yeah.
just can't find him, and there's all that. So Anyway, he overcomes Fezzik by basically choking him out. He manages to
Yeah.
get on his back and choke him out. But again, doesn't kill him.
No.
Um,
He
follows,
says like sleep well and dream of big women
yes. And then finally catches up to the
to
Sicilian
Vizzini.
who's
Yeah.
holding a knife at Buttercup's throat and is like, okay, why don't we have a battle of wits?
Yeah.
And Vicini's all in for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
the big thing about Vizzini is he absolutely thinks he's the smartest person in the room at all times. Most of the time he is,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
he's very easily manipulated.
Yeah.
So
And he goes, what do you suggest? He goes, I've got this poison, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's like
iocane powder.
iocane
So
powder. And he goes, I'm going to put it in one of the goblets.
well,
And
no,
when
he
you're
doesn't
in,
say that. He puts the goblets behind him. You see him do some movements, and he puts the goblets back on. And he just goes, "Where's the poison?"
where's the poison? Yes, he does say that. That's quite important because
Yeah,
he doesn't lie, does he?
yeah.
Um, um, then Vicini starts reasoning. Because you're a more this poison comes from Australia, which
Oh,
suggests you have a
it's pro
criminal mentality, which means you expect no one to trust you. Therefore, it's in this, and he keeps
yeah,
explaining why it's in one cup or the other, and Wesley just sits there looking at him
yeah,
while he's going through all this, and then he goes. Yeah, okay, so my choice is, oh, what's that over there? Wesley, and he
yeah.
just swaps the
What in the
goblets.
world is that?
It's, oh, sorry, I thought I saw something. And then he drinks it. They both drink, and
Yeah.
Vicini passes
So he
out.
drops out, drops to the floor.
And Buttercup's like, "Oh, the poison was in your cup," and he goes, "It was in both. I've
Yeah,
developed an
yeah. I've
immunity.
got
It's a
immunity
bit
to that.
Rasputin-y. He's developed an
Yeah,
immunity to the poison." Um, and then he starts sort of having a go at Buttercup, doesn't he? You're marrying a man when you know.
yeah,
And he goes, she goes, I died when Wesley died and all this.
yeah,
Anyway, she manages to knock him down a hill, and as he's
yeah. She
go,
basically tells him to die and shoves him. And as
yeah,
he's rolling, he goes, "As you
wish.
wish."
And she's like, Wesley. And of course, it's Wesley. He's
Yeah,
the man in black. How she did not recognize him, I do not know. I mean, that's okay.
yeah,
Movie logic, movie logic.
yeah.
Um, and then they go into that. Was it the forest?
The fire
The
swamps.
fire swamps
Yeah,
with the rodents of unusual size.
yeah,
Basically, first thing that happens is Buttercup falls, just disappears in a hole
yeah.
in the sand, just goes straight there. Wesley dives in, ties himself to something, dives in after and manages to pull them both out.
Yeah. Then there's fire spurts, which
Fire
is just you
spurts,
hear a few popping sounds, and then fire erupts on the ground nearby.
and then a giant rat, a rodent of unusual size, is
Yeah,
what they call it,
I still don't
attacks
think they
him, but he
exist.
manages, while he's running around, it gets fire swamped. And
Yeah.
he manages to get out. Anyway, he's quite damaged by all this
Oh
fighting,
yeah, he is not in a good state by the
yeah,
end of the fire swamp.
and they manage to get out, but they get surrounded by the. Oh, we do see the prince and the count
Yeah,
going over,
chasing them.
finding the fight, don't they? They find the
Yeah.
location. He goes, there was a
And credit
fight
to him,
here.
we do see Prince Humperdinck is a good tracker.
Yeah,
Like
he
he's
starts
able to
explaining what
describe the
happens.
process of what happened.
Yeah, and in fact, Buttercup does say that to him. He's the finest track. He can track a falcon on a foggy day or something. She says something like
Yeah.
that. And they get surrounded, and uh, basically he's like surrender, and he says never, and they've got crossbows on him and all sorts. Buttercup's like, if I marry you, she explains who he is, doesn't she? Will you
Yeah.
let him go? And he promises to let him go, but no, straight
Yeah.
down to the torture chamber for him.
Yeah. The pit of despair.
Um, but they know that he's the Dread Pirate Roberts, don't they? So
Yeah.
that means when she basically later on she says something like, "I can't marry
Yeah.
you. I
So
have to marry my true love," and he's like, "Oh, okay. I'll send out my four chiffon. Write the same letter four times to him. I will send out my four fastest ships in all directions, and we'll fly the white flag and." They're bound to be attacked by the Dread Pirate Roberts. You'll be
yeah.
able to pass on the message. Anyway, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Uh, they take him down to the
The
torture
pit.
chamber.
Yeah. The
We
pit.
got we got
So
Mel Smith as like an albino
yeah.
torture guy. Yeah,
Igor-esque. So
Igor. And they chain him to a machine of pain.
Yeah, just called The Machine, by the
The
way.
machine, yeah. So it's on zero, and they've got him chained up with all these attachments, and they put it to one, and he's like screaming his head off.
Yeah, and he starts
Um,
crying as soon as it's done.
yeah,
The I like the count is like, so this is very like I'm actually writing a book on pain. Could you accurately describe your say? And Wesley
yeah,
just starts crying.
yeah.
He's like, interesting.
Meanwhile, let me get this right. Isn't Inigo just
Inigo's
getting
drunk in the
pissed? Yeah,
thieves' woods, saying like, Vizzini, you told me to go back to the beginning. This is where
as
we picked
we
up the
go to the
job.
table.
Here is the beginning.
Yeah,
He's just kind of just drinking constantly.
yeah,
And the prince is clearing out the thieves' forest because he doesn't want anything to go wrong with this wedding because he's going to kill the bride and he needs someone to pin it on.
yeah,
But yes, they've reached the point where it's like, you brute, come and get this drunk Spaniard, and it's Andre the Giant. It's
yeah.
Fezzik.
First thing, and
So
they start doing the rhyming thing
yeah,
immediately. So yeah, so Um, so while they're in the swamp, old because Wesley first acts like he's the Dread Pirate Roberts, which is why Buttercup hits him and says, "You killed my true love," and he
mm,
goes, "Oh, I killed loads of people in my time." Um, and he goes, "Oh yes, I remember him. He didn't cry or beg for mercy. He just explained he needed to live because he had true love.
mm,
Um, so I killed him quickly or something like that. I don't know."
yeah,
But he does explain in the swamp that yeah, the Dread Pirate Roberts is actually retired and just handed on
yeah,
the title. And he says, the one before me wasn't the Dread Pirate. It was the one, we just hand
mm,
it down when we want to retire. No one's going to be frightened of the Dread Pirate Wesley, right? So
yeah,
that's what he's saying. That's how he kind of explains it. Anyway, so he's in the. He also, while they're being tortured, he notices Count Rugen has, who is in basically it's his torture chamber. He's
yeah.
got 6 fingers. He goes, "Oh,
And
you got
he's
6 fingers." He goes, "Oh,
yeah.
reason
I know someone was looking for
for
you,
you."
and he hits him with
Yeah,
a sword.
yes.
Now, fun fact about that, he actually knocked Carrie Elwes out with that.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's bad. That's bad.
yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
No.
Must have concussed him, right?
Yeah, they had to stop
Uh,
filming.
oh
So,
man, oh man. Um, anyway, Buttercup does go to the prince and sort of says, "I can't get married. I'll kill myself first." And then he says, "Okay, I'll find Wesley for you. We'll send out." And then he says, "But if he doesn't turn up, please consider me as a reasonable alternative to suicide."
mm,
Um, um,
he is
but
still planning to kill her at this
basically,
point.
he
So,
wants to start a war with the neighboring country, and he wants to kill her, and her
mm,
death be the basis for starting the war. Right? That's
yeah,
kind of it. Um, and I did like the bit where she's walking along, and I mean, this comes a bit later with the king
yeah,
and queen. She says to the king, she kisses the king on the cheek and says, "Thank you. You've always been kind. Why'd you do that, my dear? You've always been kind to me, and I won't see you again." He goes, "Why not?" He goes, "Because I'm going to go upstairs and kill myself." And he says, "Oh, that's nice." And he calls his wife, "She kissed me." Like,
yeah,
totally ignores what she said. Wow. So
yeah,
yeah, the brute squad thing, Fezzik is just
yeah,
clearing the forest of any undesirables for the wedding.
yeah.
And that's where they find
But
Inigo.
while he's walking around with Inigo, who they realize is like, yeah, Fezzik tells Inigo that, oh yeah, there's a six-fingered man in the castle, and he's the one that's taking the man in
Yeah,
black.
yeah. So he gets a
Uh,
very prompt what's it, don't we? So they know
yeah,
he's in the castle and he says, "We need his help.
mm,
We need the Man in Black's help to storm the castle."
yeah.
Because Inigo wants to go get that man,
And
right?
they as they're sort of wandering around looking for him, they hear a scream because the prince went to the torture chamber. Instead of hitting like one or the prospective five that Count Rugen talks about briefly, it's like one
Yeah,
day I might go as far as five. We'll
yeah.
see.
He,
He chucks it up to 50.
the top setting, right?
Yeah, and he
Just
lets out this horrendous
tremendous
scream.
scream, and I really like the line. Inigo, everyone hears the scream in the country. Buttercup
Yeah,
hears it, the crowds hear it. Inigo and Fezzik hear it, and
and
Fezzik's
he
like, "What's
goes,
that?" And he goes, "That's the sound of true pain. I heard it the night my father died."
yeah. And the
Um,
Man in Black makes it now for his lady love. And it's
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah, but they basically they capture the torturer, don't they, and make him go. And they
yeah.
find Wesley, and
We didn't go
even
over
the
the funny
torturer is
bit.
like a bit horrified by him setting it to 50 straight
Yeah,
away.
sorry, we didn't go over the torturer's like gag of like, what's it? It is a piece of despair. No one's ever, no one's ever got out. So, yeah,
Nice touch, nice
yeah,
touch. Um, so yeah, so they get the dead Wesley, and then they go try and find a folk healer they've heard about.
yeah.
It's
Miracle
Miracle Max.
Max. Yeah,
Um, and Miracle Max basically banging on and say, are you the one that the prince just recently fired? And Miracle Max opens it's Billy Crystal in full old man makeup. He says,
yeah.
thanks for reliving
Thanks
that
for bringing
painful
up that terrible memory.
memory. And then Inigo sells it like, look, if you help him. Oh, he's bad, is he? I can't help him. He goes, no, he's dead. He goes, bring him in.
Yeah.
And then he starts explaining,
Like,
it's
this is
dead.
not actually dead. It
It's
says
mostly dead.
mostly dead.
Mostly dead. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
And then he starts saying, I don't think I can help. And his wife starts having to go at him. But then he
Yeah,
goes, right,
because
if you.
he doesn't want to because he's like, oh, this guy
It's
probably just owes you money, right? And he puts some like bellows in his mouth and blow like puts air in his lungs and then pushes down on him.
And he asks,
And
why do you still want to live? And he says, true love. And he goes, no, he said to blathe, which means to bluff. You've been playing cards, right?
yeah,
Uh,
and that's when the wife child stops out. It's like, no, you heard it, like,
true love. And then he starts finding out he's going to mess with the
with
prince's
Humperdinck, and he's
wedding.
like, yeah, we're on.
Yeah, we're on. And they make, basically, it looks like, I don't know, a chocolate coated date or something. It's a massive bit of thing. And he goes, this is the peel that we're, and then they say,
Yeah,
it takes
it's
full
good after.
15 minutes to revive him, so don't do anything. And he goes, and don't go for a swimming for a good hour afterwards.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, the chocolate helps it go down easier. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
And they're off and they're waving back. And his wife says, is there,
yeah,
will it help? Because it'll take a miracle.
yeah. Have fun
Uh,
storming the castle, kids.
but Wesley's kind of can barely move. He can talk a
Yeah,
bit.
he wakes up like as they're like talking, trying to talk over a plan. He's like, I'll take you individually. I'll take you both on." And they really just cover his mouth.
Yeah, yeah. And they're saying, well, what are the odds? And he says, well, there's 60 men outside. And he goes, okay, what's that? What are our assets? He goes, you, me, and him. And he goes, if I had a month, I might be able to make a plan.
Yeah,
Um, and Fezzik's like, oh, we got a wheelbarrow. And he goes, well, why didn't you list that?
yeah.
And they do come up with a
It's like
plan. Basically.
he even comes up with like a if only we had a like a Holocaust cloak, and Fezzik just pulls it out of his bag, and it's
Yeah.
like okay. Now, one thing I do remember in the book, apparently the Holocaust cloak there's a like a whole side tangent with Fezzik and the Holocaust cloak.
Okay.
The author's like, ultimately this was just to get a cloak, so I
Yeah.
cut that whole bit.
Yeah.
So
You can, can't you? You can.
yeah,
So basically, Fezzik puts on the cloak and it pretends to be the
they
Dread
wheel
Pirate
him.
Roberts.
Yeah, they
They
wheel
wheel him
him
so he
up.
looks even bigger. I mean, he's
Yeah,
pretty
and then
big.
set him on fire. So Andre the Giant's 6'11", and also was apparently what William Goldman based Fezzik on.
Oh,
So
awesome, awesome.
yeah,
And basically, he announced, he goes, no one here, what is it? No one here will
I leave no
walk away
survivors.
alive and all this
Yeah,
unless you leave now. So they all run away, which is good. And Wesley's slowly recovering, but he still can barely walk. And basically, Fezzik's carrying him around. They get in
yeah.
the castle,
They bump into
castle,
Rugen.
and they bump into Rugen. Inigo immediately spots it, and he does his challenge. My name is
Yeah.
Inigo. That's right. You killed my father. Prepared to
And we get
die.
the funny bit of Rugen like holding like a fencing pose and then just turning and running.
Run.
It's
So
like, yeah, I
Inigo
don't want any of
chases
that.
him.
So
Inigo chases him, and meanwhile Fezzik has to go. Oh, basically Inigo said,
he's still
"Oh,
holding Wesley.
yeah,"
The
but
man in
Inigo
black
says,
runs through a
"I need
door.
to get through this door." So
Yeah.
Fezzik attach it, like
He
puts
like
him
props
into a
him up
knot
on a suit
on
of armor.
no, and then goes and just punches the door so Inigo
Yeah, and
can
then goes
follow.
back, but he's gone when he
He's
gets
gone.
back.
He
So
doesn't understand where he's gone. So essentially, Wesley's somehow come across Buttercup she's about to kill
Well, no,
herself.
she goes into the bridal suite where
Oh,
she's
we
about to
haven't talked
stab
about the
herself.
marriage. We haven't talked about
Yes,
the marriage.
marriage is what brings us together
Amazing. Peter,
today.
again, Peter Cook's probably his finest hour in films. He's not in many films, and unfortunately, his comic genius is much more TV based. Not many
Hmm.
films show it. I mean, we saw him in Supergirl, and he didn't have many lines, did he? He was
No.
okay, but yeah, he's great. His best film to see him in is one called Bedazzled. We'll do that sometime. About
Okay.
Dudley Moore and Peter Cook were a comedy duo in the 60s and 70s, and they basically made this film of a man selling his soul to the devil to get the woman he loves. Peter Cook's the
Okay.
devil, and he's amazing.
Okay.
It's a really fun film and silly as hell. Pre Monty Python kind of, but with that vibe, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway,
Yeah.
Peter Cook's marriage is that's amazing.
It's a very
I also like
iconic one.
the moment that comes just before that, where Buttercup gets represented to the crowd, and a woman goes "boo,
Yeah.
boo." I really like that scene. It
Yeah.
didn't need to be there at all, but it's a really
I
good.
like the she's credited that woman as the ancient Boer.
That's funny. That is
Yeah.
funny. But yeah, so there is that. But yeah, the marriage stuff, the dweem within a dweem, and the count's got, the prince going
Mm.
get on with it.
Yeah.
I like Peter Cook is credited as the impressive clergyman. Um,
Yeah.
and West is like, and West is like, hold on, did are you
No.
really married? And she
Yeah.
said,
Well,
yes, we got married. And she said, did you say I do? And she goes, no, I didn't. It was
we
all
just kind
so
of skipped that
fast.
part.
You know, he goes, well, you're not married. If you didn't say I do, you're not married.
Yeah.
Um,
He goes, "Isn't that right, Prince
and
Humperdinck?"
and
And
Humberton's in.
Humperdinck's just in the doorway.
He challenges Wesley to a duel. But
Yeah.
Wesley's still incapacitated. He doesn't know this, but Wesley's still incapacitated. And Wesley gives him a speech, basically.
Yeah. He goes, "Oh yeah, we're
Well,
gonna go to the
we're not
pain." It's
fighting
like
to
we,
the pain.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we gotta go off your hands, your feet, your nose, your eyes.
And he says, oh,
He
your
goes, "Oh yeah,
ears
my
next.
ears as well, right?" And he goes, "No, your ears you keep so you can hear everyone say, 'What the hell is that thing that's
Yeah.
stumbling around?'"
Yeah.
Uh,
It kind of
they,
it works, totally
yeah,
works. And they said, "Now submit now, and I will let you keep, live as you are."
yeah,
And basically, he sits down and Buttercup ties him up, and
yeah.
then we
The
find
second
out
he's tired
Wesley is
out,
totally incapacitated,
yeah,
and he
he's
goes,
like
"I
he can
knew it,
barely
I
stand.
knew
So
it."
he basically
uh,
had enough in him to dramatically lift his sword up and point it at
that was
at
it.
Humperdinck.
That's all there. Meanwhile, Inigo's chasing the count, who
Yeah,
does a shit ill thing. He basically runs into like a dining
a
hall,
corner.
pulls
Yeah,
out a knife and throws the knife,
yeah,
gets him in the gut, gets Inigo in the gut, and he
yeah.
starts saying, "Oh, you're the little
Yeah,
Spanish
you're a
boy."
Spanish boy. You have an overdeveloped sense of vengeance. It'll get
Yes.
you killed. And
Yeah, he
it's like,
goes, "Oh, you've come
oh,
all this way and you didn't succeed." And then Inigo,
mm,
it spurs him on, and he starts
yeah,
going, "My name is Inigo Montoya.
you
You
killed my
killed my
father.
father, prepared." And he's saying it over and over and getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah,
And he
and
outfights the count,
he
right?
outfights the count. He also delivers all the same injuries that the count puts on him back to
Yes.
him.
Yes. Scars on the cheeks. Um,
Scars on the cheeks, the same stabs in his shoulder and forearm,
yeah,
and then to get it to finish it off, he stabs him where same place the knife got. In you go.
yeah. But basically, he says, "Offer me riches." He goes, "I'll give you
Yeah.
anything. Offer me everything." And
Yeah. So
he goes,
all within my power, and
"Ask
he
me what I
grabs
want." He goes, "What do you want?" He goes, "I want my father."
you son
And
of a bitch
he
and
just
like
kills him,
guts him.
kills him,
So
which is really cool.
mm.
Yeah, it's an interesting film, this, because it does feel mostly like a kids' film, but there's some grim stuff like
Yeah,
this,
it's a
and
very
the
bloody film.
but I think the charm of it just lets it go, right? I don't know what
Mm.
rating this was actually. I imagine it was a PG because it was the 80s, right? But now it's probably a 12. Um,
Mm.
I don't know. I could try and look it out while we're talking. Anyway,
Yeah.
so essentially, Inigo kind of just recovers from the stab, doesn't he? He's not that badly off from it.
Yeah.
Um, They
So,
go find it, and then they're in the castle, and Fezzik's disappeared, and he calls up. They look out of the window, and Fezzik's goes, "I found your four horses," and he goes
yeah,
like, "Fezzik, you did something smart."
yeah,
Like, yeah, and then we get that cool shot of Buttercup jumping and just falling through black space,
yeah.
and being caught
Caught
by
by
Fezzik, and
Andrew.
both really happy and grinning. Uh,
Yeah,
and then so basically, Wesley says to Inigo, "You'd make it. Have you ever thought about piracy? You'd make a good
yeah,
pirate, Roberts." And then dawn, the sun's coming up, and Wesley, well, they're
yeah.
about
So
to
right
kiss,
off.
and the story stops. Right? He goes, "Ah, you don't
Yeah,
want to hear this.
yeah. The grandpa's like, ah, it's a
Let's
kissing
kiss
scene.
it."
It's not.
He
Let's
goes, "No,
not.
no, no, it's okay." And he starts saying, "There have been five most passionate kisses in the world. This kiss left them all behind." It was all that,
Yeah,
right? Um,
and then that's how it ends. So
yeah,
literally had like two lines left to do.
yeah. And the grand says, "Can you come and read for me again tomorrow?" And the
Yeah,
grandfather says,
just
"As
as
you
you
wish."
wish. It's like, ah,
Ah, gets you right there, doesn't it?
yeah,
Gets you right there. What a marvelous film!
yeah.
There's
Now this did have an alternate ending that was filmed but
really.
never like properly
Oh, what
edited.
was it?
It was after the grandfather leaves, Fred Savage picks up the book and starts like trying to read it himself, but he hears something. And he goes to his window and he sees the four of them on the horses outside in the sky.
Yeah, that's nuts. I
Yeah.
think it's fine as it is.
Yeah, it's a bit never-ending story, that one.
Yeah, and then we get quite a nice bit of music play out.
Yeah.
And it's Mark Knopfler. I always forget Mark Knopfler did the music for this film, and you can kind
Yeah.
of hear it. It's kind of charming guitar work, right?
Mm.
Um, I was just looking at the roles for Princess Buttercup. Quite interesting. The other possible, I mean,
Yeah, I saw
Robin
Carrie
Wright
Fisher was
was,
in the running.
yeah,
So,
Uma Thurman, Meg Ryan, Courtney Cox. Whoopi
yeah.
Goldberg,
Yeah.
Sean Young. Yeah,
Mm.
interesting. Robin Wright
Yeah.
was perfect in this.
Yeah,
He was
like I
really.
said, I've been reading a lot about the behind the scenes. Apparently, to introduce Robin Wright to William Goldman as like a potential buttercup, Rob Reiner invited Goldman over to his house where Wright already was. And as he was walking up the entryway, Reiner opened the door to like a backlit Robin Wright in a white dress, and Goldman just went, "Well, that's what I wrote there,
Yeah,
right there."
that's
So,
right. That's perfect. Yeah, yeah. I was looking at some of the other casting. Apparently, Danny DeVito was considered for Vizzini, which would have been great
mm,
too. But Wallace Shawn is
yeah,
really good.
yeah.
I'm totally happy with that. Um, Yeah. So yeah, he did, like you said, he when he wrote it, he was thinking of Andre the Giant, but Arnold Schwarzenegger was the other considerate possible
Mm.
contender for Fezzik. Yeah, yeah. But I'm glad that this was his finest moment. This would have just been one of many Arnie's films, wouldn't it? Whereas for
Mm.
Andre the Giant, this is his film, right? This is
Mm.
really, really works for him. Yeah, so interesting. They filmed a lot in Britain as well. You can
Yeah,
kind of tell, can't you? The
yeah,
cliffs and such like. And there are bits of Ireland too. Yeah, the Cliffs of
yeah,
Insanity was a cliff in Ireland called the
yeah.
Cliffs of
I see a
Moher.
lot of like clips of people like filming, like taking like candidates of that place, but people have put the look, see the cliffs of insanity. So
Yeah,
already go over it.
and it does,
So
and lots of it looks like the Peak District, which is Derbyshire, and there is quite a lot of
yeah,
filming in
that's
Derbyshire
in
as
Cape
well.
Dale. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
which isn't too far from here, actually.
mm,
But yeah, yeah, I just this is just a charming film, isn't it? Right.
yeah.
Um, I just like how many great performances there are in it, and you can sort of say, if you say, tell me a Carrie Elwes film,
Mm,
this is the best.
yeah.
Tell me an Andre the Giant, this is the best. Peter Cook, and so
Well,
on, right?
Andre the Giant didn't have too many.
No, he didn't, but
So
he was great in this, right? He
yeah,
he
unfortunately,
really
this
was.
is like his last
Yeah,
role he was alive for.
yeah,
Really, that the his subsequent ones were released posthumously.
yeah,
And there's a lot of like kind of sad stories about on set where it's like he just couldn't really stand or concentrate. So
yeah.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Had to
So
bring the tone
apparently,
down there.
not Flat only agreed to it on the condition that Rob Reiner include his the famous cap that Rob Reiner wears when he plays Marty DeBurgi in Spinal Tap. That was part of
Okay.
Knopfler's condition
Yeah.
to do it. But he couldn't find the cap. He couldn't find it. So they did it by sort of doing a similar cap in is hanging in the bedroom,
Yeah, I figured that's where it'd be.
in the grandson's bedroom.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, so it's um, they really apparently it was unreleased. It didn't have a trailer because Fox didn't know how to promote it. They couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
Yeah.
a big success because people didn't know it was coming. But I do remember seeing reviews on the TV at the time, and they just showed a clip of the sword fight, and it's like, I'm
Yeah.
going to see this film, you know. So
Yeah.
I mean, they could have just done that. It was literally
Yeah.
half of that as the trailer, and you'd have got a massive audience. I
Yeah.
think, yeah. And many critics say this was the best of '87. It's really highly considered in both comedy and love story lists. This film.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, and why not? Right? Why not?
Yeah.
Um,
I do need to see if I can track down the home movies version of this, which
yeah,
is during COVID, there was a bunch of so- essentially a table read of a film script,
yeah,
one of which was this, where they got a lot of the actors back to do it it was all for charity.
yeah.
I did see a note here was like when the Man in Black does say, "That's I think they're a good fashion statement. I think everyone will be wearing them in the future." He puts on a COVID mask. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, it's just a great bit. I do like there's also some notes here about what Elwes says whenever uh, loads of his fans always come up and talk to him or even quote lines from this film. But he did say also in the interview, Wallace Shawn's got it even worse because if he makes any kind of mistake in public, people just shout out, "Inconceivable."
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of funny stories about the sword fighting in this, mostly about Manny Patinkin uh, being too good at it.
Yeah.
So, like, people would for example, Christopher Guest in the final fight. The reason he looked so scared is because Manny Patinkin had actually stabbed him at that point. So
Wow.
in practice, he like Christopher Guest thought he's just like, okay, we're gonna have a rehearsed fight. We're gonna do it like this. No, Manny Patinkin came at him, and
Wow.
so Christopher Guest had to go and learn fencing to just keep up.
Yeah.
So
I'm not surprised. I mean, it looks pretty good. The fencing in this looks. I mean, the fight between Wesley and Inigo is
yeah, it's
terrific.
legendary.
Yeah, it's
So
terrific. And there's just some lovely moments for it.
mm,
Okay, we both really, really hold
yeah,
this film in high regards. And it's amazing we've never covered it other than as a comfy chair
yeah.
mention.
I think it's one of those
So
ones we just assumed we had.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
like, yeah,
we've
of
done
course we
so
got to
many
that.
episodes now. We
So,
just assume we've watched almost
yeah,
everything. Well, that's not true. We most film you pick a film, we've probably done it. It's kind
yeah.
of like that, isn't it?
Or we've
Anyway,
done something from its
I
franchise, that
mean,
sort of thing.
rating.
Yeah. It's a 10.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 10.
It's not even close. It's
No.
clearly one of the greatest films ever made. So and it's just a beautifully written, beautifully performed, beautifully acted. It just flows really well. And as I say, that first 40 minutes I mean, maybe Raiders of the Lost Ark is close, but I think for the first 40 minutes is just so exciting and engaging. Not just exciting, engaging and charming and funny. And you got so many things going for it. It just works on so many levels. Yeah. Okay. Shall we wind it up now?
Okay.
All right then. So bye from me.
Bye.